Welcome to DNT Podcast. For our first-time listeners, we're a sports talk show where we have a better podcast than ESPN, Fox Sports, all of that. We don't repeat the same topics. We keep it fresh. No Patriots every topic or LeBron. We keep it fresh. We will try to post twice a week during the NFL season. We will have our NFL picks, fantasy sleepers. We'll answer any fantasy questions you have. We'll discuss not only NFL, but any sports news. We'll go over where we were right and where we were wrong. Send questions to our email. We'll answer them for you on air. Our email's on Facebook, and then we'll post that in the description below. Our podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, podcast app, Google Play. We're gonna get on YouTube here soon, so it's pretty much everywhere. This is the fantasy football edition. All right, so we're gonna go over sleepers, potential stars, breakout stars, potential busts. We're gonna go over everything.
Just the studs.
Yeah, and so you can dominate your draft. All right, so let's go with our fantasy running back sleepers. All right, my first one is Ronald Jones from the Buccaneers. Now, he was a second-round pick, 38th overall. The reason why he's a rookie, and the reason why I like him is there's not really any competition in the backfield for him to split carries. I mean, you have Peyton Barber, Charles Sims in the backfield. Not much competition, and I like a fresh rookie running back. And I think he's going to get carries because if you look at Doug Martin a few years ago, he flourished in this system. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's a completely passing team. I think Jameis Winston does like passing the ball, but I think now with Ronald Jones, I think they're going to try to take some pressure off of Jameis and get back to the run game. And Jameis is going to be missing 3 games of the week.
Yeah.
So I think the only way Tampa Bay is going to be able to compete this year is going to be playing defense and running the ball. So that's my first sleeper in running back.
Yeah, I can totally see that because here they got Fitzpatrick backing
Ryan
up.
Fitzpatrick,
Yeah, backing up. So they're going to definitely be slinging and running. So, but for my first sleeper, I have, he might not be a sleeper to some, but I have Dalvin Cook from Minnesota. He got hurt 3 or 4 games, tore his ACL, I believe, 3 or 4 games into the season last year, and he was looking really good. In just those games, he had over 350 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Vikings. So I like Cook this year. I mean, yeah, coming off of an injury, you're a little scared on taking him kind of high because he will go a little high because he's still a top 10 running back in the league. So that you kind of, I didn't want to really put him as a sleeper, but since he was coming off injury, people forgot about him.
I mean, I think he's going to be a great player, but I think with Kirk Cousins being there, I think they are going to try to throw the ball a little bit more, which would bring his value a little bit down, I think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think he's a great option.
But that also opens up the defense a little bit too, because they know that they can go deep, they can pass the ball now, so now the line is spread out a little bit more.
Right. All right, so my second sleeper, I think it's one of my best sleepers, is Chris Thompson from the Redskins. Especially, let me say this, especially if you're in a PPR league, which I'm in, and I don't know about you, but like, I tend to like PPR leagues a little bit more better. It's points per reception. So Chris Thompson for me, with their juice, their was it first or second round running back. He went down with a torn ACL.
First
so
game.
I think Chris Thompson, he was a solid second in the depth chart. I think he'll get some of them touches. He'll get you catches out of the backfield. And last year he averaged 4.6 yards per carry. He had 510 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. He's, like I said, he's great for PPR. And not much competition on the backfield if you look at Pearson and Rob Kelly. Now, they just signed Adrian Peterson.
They did.
So that kind of throws this into a little bit of a loop for me. But I really like Chris Thompson. especially a third down back. I think you'll get some more rushing touches, and and you look with Alex Smith. He's kind of a game manager kind of, so he's gonna run the ball. If you look at last year with Kareem Hunt, he likes to run the ball. He likes to establish the run and go for play action. So I think Chris Thompson right here is a really good sleeper for me.
Okay. I mean, since you mentioned Adrian Peterson, I do kind of like him as a week 1 sleeper for FanDuel or DraftKings, just in GPPs and tournaments and stuff. Just to take a flyer, he might be cheap. So that's a
it'll be interesting how many touches he gets, and I mean he's 31, 32-year-old running back and has a lot of surgery history. So I mean it'd be interesting if he has a little bit more juice in the legs. I'm not too sure of it, but
I wouldn't say
something to keep your eye on.
An every down back every week, obviously.
That's why I still kind of like Chris Thompson, but that kind of throws it into loop for me.
Yeah, my second sleeper is Sonny Michael, or I think it's Michael from the Patriots. They drafted him 31, I believe.
You were going to go with this.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. He looked good in college. And Patriots, I mean, Bill Belichick always plays the running back by committee. So you got to have to think about that. But if he's sitting down in the draft really low for you, it might be worth a swipe. Might be worth a pickup. So, and he can run the ball, and the Patriots line is not horrible.
Yeah, it's a pretty good run. I think it was rated 9th. So I mean, it's a pretty good line. It's top 10.
The Patriots' very first pick though got hurt in the first preseason game, and that's gonna hurt the line a little bit.
Oh, was that guard?
The guard that they got. But other than that, I mean, I think you still have Tom Brady, so he's gonna be spreading the ball out. People are gonna be fearing him more so than them running the ball. So, I think he has a chance to be something this year if he gets if he's the number 1 back in New England.
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, Patriots tend to run a running back by committee. I kind of a general rule of kind of staying away from Patriots running backs.
Me too. But
receivers.
But I find it weird that they got him in first round though. He's a first rounder, so they're going to give him, I would feel, more opportunity than the rest.
The last few years they've been kind of like, well, whoever's hot, let's stick it with him, because every game it was changing who had the hot hand. So that kind of does concern me, but he is definitely a talented running back. All right, so my third sleeper is Alex Collins from the Baltimore Ravens. Now he's been going kind of, I think, 5th round ish, but I think he's a really consistent. He's not going to blow doors off or go. I mean, he's not going to go Adrian Peterson on anybody, but he put up 973 yards last year and 12 starts and 6 touchdowns, which is really consistent. He had 23 catches and 187 yards out the backfield, so he's not really. I mean, he can do a little bit in PPR for you.
And for a bad offensive team too, passing team.
They're clearly going to establish the running game. They're clearly kind of moving to a run-first team and then play defense. I mean, that's what they've been. And there's a lack of competition in the backfield, too, I see from Baltimore Ravens, which I kind of like, too.
Yeah.
You can't really – Javaris Allen, Kenneth Dixon. I mean, come on. None of these guys are going to touch – unless an injury happens to Collins. Nobody's really going to touch these guys. And I really do. I like him. He's just a consistent back. He's not going to blow doors off. He's not going to give you 200 yards, but he's a consistent back, and I think the Ravens are moving to a run-first team.
Yeah, I can see that. I had him as one of my sleepers as well. So I agree with pretty much everything you said about that. And as we know, Ravens last year and this upcoming year, they will probably be a little bit better passing, but they're going to be running the ball first.
Yeah.
So so I like Collins as well.
Yeah, they're not winning any games with Flacco throwing 400 yards. They're not going to do it. Okay, so my fourth sleeper is Tariq Cohen. I hope I said that right, from the Bears. Now, he is second in the depth chart from Jordan Howard. but a few reports that are saying the Bears kind of getting away from Jordan Howard. Not saying he's not going to be their number one or very productive, but they're kind of moving towards a guy that can catch balls and do a lot more stuff than Jordan Howard can. And that's kind of what Cohen is. He kind of can catch balls. He can do a lot of different stuff for you. So I think they're more lenient towards putting Cohen as more of a focal point in their offense than Howard. And he averaged 4.3 yards per carry last season, which isn't bad. But 53 receptions, 353 yards last year, 74% catch. So he has hands. I like him. I mean, he went, oh my God, he went so late in my draft the other week. I think he went like 13th round. I'm like, are you kidding me? But I had enough running backs at the time, or I would have got him. But I mean, I like him. I mean, and let's not kid yourself. Trubisky's not going to throw the ball 30, 40 times.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely some production Cohen can get.
I do like Trubisky to be better this year, but I agree with you. He's not gonna. He's not gonna throw the doors off.
Yeah.
So I mean, I agree with you. If I haven't heard about that Jordan deal going on there,
yeah.
But if that's true, like if that is eventually what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, and he's an older back.
Yeah. Then that is a good sleeper then. So I do like that pick. But yeah, I mean, do you have any more sleepers for us there?
I have a few quick ones. Ty Montgomery from the Packers. Now, people kind of dismiss that, but if he can stay healthy, he does have potential in fantasy because he can catch balls. Mm-hmm. Very good PPR. He can run a little bit. I mean, of course, we're a passing team, but I think he has some balls. He can catch some balls out. And our wide receiver depth is pretty thin. So he can definitely line up in the slot, do some things. His biggest challenge is health. He's been out. I mean, he's been, I don't even know how many. What was it? He had 14 starts in 3 seasons. That's all you need to know. But
same with every other Packer almost.
But if he can stay healthy, I mean, 14 starts, I mean, you could do that in 1 season. I mean, if he can stay healthy, I like him as a sleeper. Get him probably like after the 9th round. Have a couple of running backs already before you take Ty Montgomery. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of take a gamble on him. And then I have Matt Breya from the 49ers. And he's second on the depth chart behind
Jared McKinney.
Jared McKinney. And McKinney has an injury history. He's already, I think, injured in the preseason. Got injured in the preseason
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So if he slips up, I think I think this guy can do a little bit. His age is 22, really young back. He averaged 4.4 yards per carry last season. He had 180 receiving yards. And so, I mean, he's a very certifiable back, but he is likely out for week 1 with his own shoulder injury. So take that as a grain of salt. I would definitely not even. I would wait till like maybe after the 11th round to take him. But I mean, can be a sleeper, especially if McKinney continues with his injury history.
Yeah, which is funny you mentioned McKinnon. That you want to move to the bus then? Or do you have any more sleepers?
Well, let's go with the sleepers and the wide receivers.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to wide receiver sleeper then.
So who's your first one, Trevor?
I like, once again, this is a guy that people will know who this is. But the last 2 years, just because health of the team, not necessarily of him, that people are going to be not looking at him right away. Is T.Y. Hilton.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton, even with Andrew Luck being out pretty much all last year and some of the year before, last year T.Y. had over 950 yards still, which is still very serviceable. And, I mean, Jacoby Brissett was okay, but, I mean, he's not an Andrew Luck. And then Andrew Luck is healthy now this year. He's looking pretty good in preseason. And I think T.Y. Hilton will definitely get a bump in value.
I mean, I like T.Y. Hilton because of the lack of depth after him. But for me, I mean, he's kind of still going in top 3 rounds. If you can get him, if it's the 4th round or after that, snag him.
Yeah, definitely.
But he does have an injury, kind of. I think he's injured right now, right?
I haven't heard anything.
I think he had a preseason injury, but I mean, I like him because he's your only weapon with the Colts. But I mean, Colts, they have a few tight ends they're going to throw to too.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that later. But
he's clear cut.
He's clear cut number 1, and Andrew Luck is a passing offense. So I do agree with you.
And they have experience together.
Right, you're right.
Time, yeah. So that's one of my sleepers for the receiver.
My first one, Javaris Landry from the Browns. All right, obviously Josh Gordon, I think, is back with the team and ready to go. But I mean, I still question the kind of the depth in Browns. Talented depth, because they did trade their 1st round pick, Corey Coleman, a few weeks ago for basically nothing, and their 4th round pick, Antonio Callaway, he's dealing with off the field issues. He has his own problems. Landry, he had 2 1,000-yard seasons, and then he had last year where he was close to 1,000 yards, so almost three consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, and he had 9 touchdowns last year. So really really nice red zone target for Tyrod Taylor. I guess he's going with the third receiver, the kind of
like a slot.
Yeah, kind of slot. I think he's going that way. But here's the thing with Landry too. I want to bring up, if they sign Dez Bryant, I'm out on it. I mean, I still like him. I just don't love him as a sleeper. But if they put Dez Bryant in there, that changes kind of everything for me, because then Dez will be like, all right, I want my catches. Where's mine?
Yeah.
And then
especially in the red zone.
Yeah, especially the red zone touchdowns. So if they sign Dez Bryant, I'm out. But if you just got Landry and Gordon playing there for you,
I love that.
I like, and he's 28th ranked. I think he's 28th ranked receiver. I think he's top 20 easily if Dez Bryant stays out of his picture.
Yeah. And then speaking of Browns and Josh Gordon, that's one of my sleepers too. I think Josh Gordon could be one of the best top 3 receivers in the league if he plays.
Yeah, I think he went around 4th round in my league. So I mean, talent wise,
he could be top 3 overall fantasy.
Yeah.
So,
if he has his head on straight.
Yeah, and he has a decent quarterback now this year. Browns never had a decent quarterback, and he was still putting up numbers when he only played a couple games.
Right.
So I like Josh Gordon this year, even with Dez Bryant, because Josh Gordon will clearly be the number 1 on that team. Dez Bryant is not gonna walk all over Josh Gordon. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't see that. And Cleveland Browns management wouldn't allow that.
Well, you would think.
I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine. I'm not a part of the Browns management, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would be very disappointed if Dez goes in there and tears it up or like ruins what they have.
Yeah, I just hope he doesn't try to get in whoever is the quarterback, Tyrod Taylor or Baker's ear. But I think Tyrod's a veteran and he won't let that happen. But with Baker, I would be kind of concerned that
I could see that happen.
Dez could get in his ear a little bit, but
yeah, I agree. So Josh Gordon, I mean, if you can pick him up, if he slides late, definitely.
Oh yeah,
I would,
if he's after the 4th round for me, I'd take him.
Oh yeah, that for me that would be a no-brainer because I like Josh Gordon as one of the best receivers in the league, no matter what. So. Yeah, that's. You got any more?
Yeah, I got a few more. Sammy Watkins from the Chiefs. I mean, I had a draft last week, and nobody's probably gonna believe this, but I got him like the 12th or 13th round. Pretty good sleeper, and I mean he has injury history, so let that be known. He had like 14. I mean, he had 14 starts last year though, and he had 8 touchdowns. For that, whatever that's worth, that's decent. And he got paid, all right. So that's a factor in fantasy because you know where they're going to go with the ball. And he had 2 seasons in Buffalo where he had 1,000 yards and with no quarterback. I mean, look at I mean,
Tyrod.
Well, Tyrod was there, but Tyrod's not a thrower.
No.
He's how many times has he been less than 200 passing yards? I mean, so many times. So, I mean, he had Tyrod, but Tyrod's not going to throw it all over the place. So Patrick Holmes could maybe throw it. I mean, he definitely showed a deep ball. He had the 69-yard pass last week, so he showed you the deep ball. So he could hit Sammy Watkins on a couple of them. There's your value right there. So health is always the X factor here, and there's really no depth in the receiver core other than Tyreek Hill. So I mean, Tyreek Hill is a very good weapon, but there's really not much depth after that.
And it depends on the quarterback situation too. Like if he pans out, if Mahomes pans out, because if he doesn't, if he looks like Trevor Siemian or Paxton Lynch, like.
But none of those receivers are going to be. I would like to think he would throw a little bit more than what Tyrod did.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. Getting rid of if they got rid of Alex Smith and all that, you know. So
I have another one.
Okay.
I have a few.
All right.
Marcus Goodwin from the 49ers.
I like him too.
He's the second in the depth chart behind Pierce Garçon, but Pierce Garçon's kind of your gritty veteran, but Goodwin's going to get the deep balls, and he has world-class speed. He had 962 yards last season, which only 6 of them starts with Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So it
could have been easily doubled. It could have been doubled.
That's 10 starts that he didn't really have a quarterback.
Yeah.
So let's put that in perspective. So I mean, if Jimmy G breaks out, and I think Pierce Garçon's going to get. Garçon's a good veteran. It's going to get.
He'll just move the chains for you.
But Goodwin, look out for Goodwin to get them long passing touchdowns.
15+ yards. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. So and then I have Sterling Shepard for the New York Giants. Now he's a clear-cut number 2 after Beckham, of course. But we know Beckham's injury history. I mean, last year he only played with 3 or 4 games. So, and look, Brandon Marshall's out. Victor Cruz is gone. I mean, these guys, they kind of cleared the decks for him for the number 2 option, and I think he's going to flourish a little bit. And then you got Barkley there in their running game, and what does the running game do? It opens up the passing game. So I like that play action pass if you can establish Barkley early, and I like over the top Shepard. I mean, of course Beckham's going to be there too, but Shepard I think is going to get his a little bit.
Oh yeah. Do you have on your list Kerryon Johnson from Detroit?
No.
No?
I thought about him though.
I've seen a little bit of him, and he's probably in like more of a third string, but behind Tate and Marvin Jones Jr.
Yeah,
but
definitely could be a slot.
Tate misses a few games every year, so and he's fast.
Yeah,
he's athletic. And Detroit passes the ball.
Yeah,
Detroit passes.
That's actually a great thought because Detroit is a pass first. Well, I mean, I think they drafted a running back really high.
They try to run, but
last
couple of years it hasn't happened.
Let's see that before we say that. They, in my opinion, they are.
And more than likely, and their defense isn't good, so they're going to be more than likely behind in games more than not.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go. That opens up more passing attempts.
And I have Robbie Anderson as one of my sleepers from the New York Jets. He doesn't really. Jets don't really have much run game. Yeah, you can come back with me. They really don't have a quarterback yet, but I mean, I think Darnold can do something.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think he could do something.
Even Teddy, he's looking pretty good. Like I know it's preseason, but he's throwing the ball a little bit more than what we're used to seeing.
Robbie Anderson, he's a clear-cut number 1. There's a lack of competition other than him. I mean, they have a few guys, but I think Terrell Pryor, but not much. And they're going to likely throw the ball with being down in games, just like you said. So, I mean, I kind of like him. And he had, 63 yards? Last year, he had 63 catches, 941 yards, 7 touchdowns. With Josh McCown. I mean, you can't really.
I mean, I wouldn't say Josh McCown's a new scrub, but
he is serviceable.
Yeah, but he's not a slinger.
Yeah, he's not Peyton Manning. So, And I have another one, DJ Moore from the Panthers.
Okay.
He's a first-round pick, 24th overall. He's second on the depth chart behind Funches. I kind of like Moore because they are a passing team. I mean, Cam likes to throw a ball a lot, and I mean, I kind of like Moore in that spot a little bit. I mean,
yeah. Panthers will probably be throwing the ball more than they have the last couple of years.
Look, and look at their running game. I mean, are you going to run the ball with what, C.J. Anderson?
Well, and McCaffrey.
I mean, McCaffrey's going to get
he's not going to be the guy that's going to be moving the sticks running the ball.
Talk about this later too, but yeah, McCaffrey. I love McCaffrey, more of a passing running back. Yeah, he can do a little bit in the running game, but
he's just too small.
He's kind of too small, and I like DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's go with sleepers on the quarterback.
All
right. Who's your first sleeper on the quarterback?
I'm gonna go Sam Darnold from the Jets. He's a rookie, obviously, but I liked him even before the draft just because he seemed more mature than the rest of the quarterbacks that were coming out of the class. So, and I know it's preseason, but he has shown that he can see what coverages are out there before the play begins. He sees it before the ball snapped. So I like that. You want that in a quarterback. Not saying that's going to relate to total fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be really draftable maybe in your last round, but I mean, it would be
it's worth a flyer for a backup.
For me, it'd be wait and see because I don't know if he's going to win the job yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let him win the job and see a game or two before you pick him up in fantasy, but yeah, he could be a potential sleeper down the road.
If you want to hit that, high reward, low bust.
A little bit.
Yeah, high reward,
yeah.
Low risk. I would late rounds. Late rounds in the draft. I would definitely do that. I mean, obviously, he ain't got much weapons and stuff, so that's gonna limit him a little bit.
That's why I don't.
But he'll be behind in games though a lot.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's more passing attempts right there. So, and I don't know. I see him as a high reward, low risk for very late in the draft, even waiver wire pickups.
Okay. I kind of like Andrew Luck. I know he's kind of drafted, I think in about that 6 to 9 range, but
if you can get him in that range, totally,
yeah, but I mean, the question mark's clear. It's health. I mean, he's missed like the last 2 years basically, and I mean. He does have Ty Hilton. We talked about this earlier. He has 2 touchdowns in Jack Doyle and Eric Ebron. He's a pass first team. He showed potential a few years ago. I mean, he took a team to 11-1. I mean, to 11 wins with nobody around them other than scrubs. So I mean, he's the guy that drives a train, whatever you want to say. He does everything. So I mean,
he runs too. He has run the.
Yeah, I think he's going to lessen that, but he has more upside than these other quarterbacks. I think that are taking lower than him.
Okay.
So,
and the defense is awful, so they're going to be behind.
They're going to be behind. They're going to run more. Throw more.
That's a big thing with me being behind with passing.
Yeah, with passing.
So.
Yeah, totally agree.
And then you want to draft losers, kind of.
Yeah.
You want to draft quarterback losers.
Yeah.
And with running backs, you want to draft winners.
Yeah, exactly. And with defenses.
Yeah, that's kind of like a guideline. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rules.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to look at it. So one of my next sleepers is Alex Smith. I don't know if you would consider. Okay, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I
consider him a sleeper.
Okay, but the reason why I like him is this is more his team now in Washington than it was ever in Kansas City.
Oh, I agree.
So now he likes to throw the ball. He has said he likes to throw the ball. It's not like he can't or he doesn't want to. So and he has more weapons now this year in Washington with Jordan Reed.
If Jordan Reed can stay healthy, he's a dominant tight end. But
you can say Tyreek Hill.
And then Vernon Davis.
Yeah, and like you said, you could say with Kansas City, like, yeah, he had Tyreek Hill and stuff, but that playbook wasn't made for him per se.
Yeah.
You know, like it was still Andy Reid's calling. He doesn't really want to throw the ball, and Washington has nothing to lose. Kansas City had something to lose if they're just going to let Alex Smith go out and sling it around.
Yeah.
And not game manage. So yeah, I like Alex Smith. Last year for Kansas City, he had 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, which is really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, being on a bad team now this year, the interceptions will probably go at least to 10.
Yeah, and just a new team. I mean, you're dealing with new coordinators and dealing with everything else.
But the touchdowns could hit 30 at least. I could see 30.
Yeah, I mean,
from 26.
His receivers are underrated. I mean, you got Paul Richardson, Josh Donson, and Crowder is still there. I mean, Crowder last year, I had him because I thought he was going to be a sleeper, and he just was kind of a bust last year. But I mean, he has a talent. I just didn't feel like they put him in good situations last year, and he wasn't able to flourish. But who knows? Maybe Alex Smith can make him the receiver I thought he was.
Grow.
Yeah, the receiver I thought he was. So, I mean, that's my sleeper too. And my last sleeper for quarterback is Derek Carr.
Okay.
Now, considering where he's drafted, I mean, he has Amari Cooper, who had a rough season last year, and again, I had Amari Cooper, so I know this. But Amari Cooper is really talented. Like, he should be way better, and I think John Gruden can kind of. They say he's the quarterback whisperer. Maybe he can pull some magic here and
put the team in general in the right direction.
Yeah,
play better.
And I mean, health is kind of always concerned with Derek Carr, with him missing the one season,
especially with the back.
Yeah,
back issues.
I mean, they're a pass first team. Like, yeah, they have Marshawn Lynch there. But, I mean...
He's not an every down back anymore.
He's a veteran and not an every down back. So, I mean, I think they're kind of moving to a pass-first team. He's got 2 additions with Jordy Nelson and Martavius Bryant, who are serviceable. And you got John Gruden, new coach, new coordinators.
New atmosphere.
I mean, I kind of like David Carr. I mean, I might be really off on that, but...
That's a good high end sleeper. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Let's go where we're gonna go. We're gonna go sleepers and tight end.
Okay.
All right. You guys sleeping on tight end?
Yeah. Pretty much. We talked about him a little bit already. Jordan Reed.
Okay.
So he didn't play many games last year. He only had about He only had about 6 touchdowns and 600 yards, a little bit over 600 yards.
Yeah, I'm surprised he got that much. So much.
Because every time I see him on FanDuel or any fantasy, it seemed like he was putting up zeros a lot.
Yeah.
Or just a couple, no more than 20 yards a game.
He would just get banged up throughout the game and just sit out plays, and it's like, it drives you nuts.
Yep.
But
yeah, I like him as my sleeper just because of Alex Smith coming in and wanting to throw the ball to him a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, if he stays healthy, he's a great talent. Not too many people know about my sleeper right now is Mike Gesicki. Sorry, I might be pronouncing that completely wrong, but he was drafted in the 2nd round, in the 42nd overall for the Miami Dolphins. So he's a rookie, but he's first on the depth chart. I think Miami is kind of moving to passing first. But, I mean, they do have some running backs, but I mean, he's definitely. I wouldn't say he is going to be a star right away. I think this might be pushed into like after week 6, where you might see him flourish a little bit more. But I see him falling low in the draft. He's going to go he went like the last round in my pick. I mean, last round of my draft. So take him in that 14th, 5th, or 15th overall. Have him as your second tight end. Don't have him as your first, because I don't think he's going to flourish right away. But I think he's definitely a sleeper to look out for. He came from Penn State. And definitely a sleeper you want to look out for in tight end with low risk, like you said, and high reward. All right, so let's go with the bust. All right. My first bust, potential bust. Let me clarify that. Just potential bust. Jameis Winston.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. He's missing 3 games already. I don't know. One of the magazines I had rated him like the 3rd QB in PPR. I'm like, really? Like, how do you even put that in some type of? I don't see that at all. I think a low end second type or low end second QB. And you have Deshaun Jackson there. He's a year older. He's going to be 32 in December.
Mm-hmm. Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is really good. I really like Mike Evans. But after that, I mean, lack of talent. I mean, I'm really low in Tampa Bay.
Lack of run game.
I mean, they do have that running back. I looked to see him flourish. That I had him in my sleeper. So,
but that you don't know that though.
But
that's the thing,
I think they're moving towards a run and play defense. So and I think that shaves Jameis down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's my first bust.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much who I had for a bust too. Like,
really?
Yeah, we had a decent amount of the same bust, but yeah, Jameis Winston just never flourished.
Yeah.
Like he had that one decent year. It was either his first or second year, and after that, who knows what happened to him?
Yeah, his production just. I don't know. He got to get his mind right, his head on straight, and he has a chance to be a good QB. I just don't see it this year.
Yeah, especially not from the start, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, miss 3 games is pretty big in fantasy. Okay, let's go Andy. My second bust is Andy Dalton, and kind of similar players a little bit for me. You got the 27th offensive line. Okay, so you're not going to get much protection. First things first, and you have AJ Green, who I love, AJ Green, but then after that you have John Ross, who was their first round pick in 2017. He has a lot of speed, but he missed pretty much all last year. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're relying on him and who else out of your wide receiver core? Really nobody.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, and Tyler Eifert, he can barely stay upright. I mean, he's a hell of a talent, but can he stay upright? I mean, and you see the lack of weapons other than that. And then here's another thing: no stable running game. I mean, you got Joe Mixon, and I like Joe Mixon, especially in PPR, because I think he's gonna get a lot of catches in the backfield. However, I just don't think you're not gonna ground and pound with these running backs.
Yeah.
So I see a lack of run game. I see a kind of a bad year for Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I mean, not a bad year. I shouldn't say that, but like a subpar year.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Andy Dalton. They just never seem to put it together. For some reason, no matter how much talent they have around him.
Like, he's made Pro Bowls, but he just never can turn that corner.
Yeah.
As being elite.
I agree. I guess, okay, well, my bust for quarterback would be Joe Flacco. I don't see anything that makes me want to be like, oh, hey, I'm drafting Joe Flacco. Oh, I feel confident.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if he can establish a running game, and that can kind of help him out.
I mean, he does do all right on play action.
Yeah.
But, my God.
But, yeah, I don't know if you even draft Joe Flacco. Like, I wouldn't. I'd just stay away. And you got Lamar Jackson.
Coming through.
You know, tipping at the heels at him a little bit, you know. The fan base might pressure them a little bit, so I would just stay away from Joe Flacco.
Yeah, that's my number one stay away.
Yeah. Okay, this is going to be a surprising bust, and people are probably going to kill me for this one, but LaShawn McCoy from the Bills. Okay, I'm not going to say he's going to fall off the damn earth, okay?
But the running backs now?
The running backs. Okay. Just the bust in general.
Okay. All
right. He has a 32nd offensive line. He's got the worst line in Pro Football rated. He's 30 years old, which is pretty old for a running back.
A quick running back. Lives on his quickness.
He's got some injury history to look out for. He's already got this groin injury that's going to keep him out for the preseason. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying he's going to fall off the earth, but I think he's kind of getting a little bit overdrafted. could he hit 1,000 yards this year? Maybe, with the lack of depth behind them, and they don't have a QB, so they might just try to establish a running game. I think they are a running team because they have no QB yet. I mean, Josh Allen might turn into that.
I could see, but first couple weeks, definitely, they're going to be leaning on Shady.
Yeah, but so I see a potential drop off here. What do you think? Do you think,
and
especially,
think I'm crazy? Well, if I can see it just because he lives on his quickness.
Yeah.
And if he never stays healthy, he never plays a full year. So you got to think about that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say stay away from him.
Yeah, I'm not saying stay away. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
I'm not saying stay away. I'm just saying I see some drop off, and that might be why he gets a little overdrafted a little bit. That's all. I'm not saying he's going to fall off the earth, but.
All right, so yeah, another one of my busts is sticking to running back. We're going Jared McKinnon from San Francisco. We talked about him a little bit earlier, and I didn't want to put him in the bust category. But it kind of, I could see it. Because with the Vikings, once last year, when Cook went down, McKinnon and Murray shared snaps. And McKinnon just never really, he's fast, but he just never really gained traction. And just being a good running back that can do a lot for you, and every down back, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I do like Jimmy G to open up the field for him and all.
But you would like to try to run the ball before you pass.
Yeah, and he's just small to be an every down running back. Last year, like I said, with the Vikings splitting carries, he only had over 550 yards and 3 touchdowns. Murray kind of took that job from him. At first, once Cook went down, it was McKinnon who was starting, and then Murray kind of, near the end of the year, just started taking more snaps away from him, especially goal line snaps. So you kind of have to think about that. That could be why his rushing touchdowns were lower. But I don't know. I don't like him as a bust, but I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of disagree with you if he stays healthy. I think he's going to be what he is, kind of, if he stays healthy. And who knows, he might not be able to. But my one of my busts is kind of Josh Gordon, only because if he can keep it, if his head's not on right, I mean, then you're kind of drafting a guy in the 3rd, 4th round, and you lose that pick.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you always have to worry about that with every player.
But
we have seen
Josh,
it. We have seen
it's
it with
like
Josh.
a 3 or 4 time.
Yeah, we've seen it with Josh before, so yeah.
So that's just something to look out for. And then Cam Newton too. I'm not gonna say Cam Newton's gonna fall off the earth either, but I am a little bit concerned about Cam Newton. 3 of his offensive linemen are out currently right now with injuries, and he doesn't really have a great line to begin with. You got no run game with C.J. Anderson. You got a little bit with Caffrey. You got a little bit with him, but I mean, you're relying on C.J. Anderson. I mean, come on. Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen's getting older. I mean, he'll play forever.
Yeah. And getting hurt.
I forget what he is. I think he's like 32, 33.
Yeah,
something.
I can see definitely a drop off.
You might see a little bit of drop off on that. I'm not saying it's going to be a big drop off.
I'll say big.
Okay.
I'll say big. Okay, if you don't want to say big, I'll say
big. You can replay a video on that.
All right. Hey, I'll tell you when I'm wrong, but I can see bad things. I can see bad things with the Panthers this year.
Yeah, and then I think they run less. I mean, so
that's another bust. What do you think about Jordy Nelson as a bust?
I don't know. I think it's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be a solid like seven between like maybe like 600 and 900 receiving yards. He's not. I don't see 1,000 from him, but and potential of getting hurt. So I mean that's there, and he's an older receiver, so he might lose another step. So yeah, there's potential bust with his age.
And can Derek Carr
he's got to get on the same page with. Everybody.
Yeah, that, and can Derek Carr kind of throw him open like Aaron Rodgers did?
Yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers, everyone that leaves Aaron Rodgers, like everyone like Greg Jennings.
Yeah,
he
dropped off.
And then he dropped off. I mean, Tavares Jackson is not a good quarterback to compare that to.
I would agree. I would agree with that because if you look at Randall Cobb, I don't think he would go anywhere and start in Green Bay because
Devontae Adams, or is he too young for you to tell?
Too young to tell. He's really good with route running, but that's a good observation.
Because Jordy Nelson isn't gonna go deep for.
Yeah, he's not gonna. He's not.
So
at that point in his career, where he's gonna take the top off the defense.
So he might be just a guy that just plays.
I think he's just gonna play within himself.
He's gonna play within the chains.
Yeah, he's just gonna play within himself, and I don't think that's.
That's not what you want for fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Do you have any more busts?
I think that's it for my bust.
Okay, let's go to breakout stars. My first one's going to be Saquon Barkley. Now, he was the second overall pick for the New York Giants. Here's the thing. I mean, New York Giants haven't been a run first team in since Cheeky Barber days. I mean,
probably legitimately, yeah.
Yeah, legitimately. So I mean, I think with Nate Soldier as their left tackle, who they just picked up from the Patriots, I think he's going to help out. But I'm still not 100% convinced on this line. So I'm not like a huge Barkley fan. I think he has potential to be a star though, and just because of the situation a little bit. And I think they're going to move to a run first.
Take pressure off of Eli.
Take pressure off of Eli, who's an older Eli, who's like turning 50 tomorrow. So
I think also take pressure off Odell too.
Yeah. So that's a fair point.
Because we see what Odell does under pressure.
Get back to that ground and pound and kind of do what Dallas and Philly's kind of doing,
and then Odell will work well off that.
Yeah.
Because I have Odell as one of my studs, and just because they have a running game now.
Yeah.
So that I agree with that. I do like Barkley as a breakout, but I mean he is the second overall pick, so.
Right. I mean,
we are expecting big.
Yeah,
things.
I mean he's gonna be taken in your draft probably mid to late first round, so he's not really a sleeper. He's taken that high, but he has a potential, I would say, because he's going to get the touches.
And since we're talking about the Giants, one of my breakout guys is Evan Ingram, the tight end.
Yeah.
The tight end.
That's a good.
The tight end for the Giants. He did miss a couple games last year because of injuries and stuff. But he still racked up over 700 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's a very good player.
So, and he can catch the ball. And I like him. I used him a lot last year in FanDuel.
Yeah.
And he
gave
me some cash. He gave me money. So I gotta rep him a little bit.
Yeah, he's like 22 or 23 years old.
He was a rookie last year.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, that's a really good point. I did not think about that.
Yeah, I like Evan Ingram. I would even just take him. Well, if you can wait as long as possible, obviously. But
yeah, I mean,
he would be my number one tight end. I wouldn't even go for Gronk.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a starting fantasy tight end. I mean, if he's not in your draft, I mean.
And then there you go. If Barkley can run the ball, then there's that play action right there for Ingram too.
Yeah.
He's not a very good pass run blocker, so he's gonna be out there.
You can still play him in the slot.
Yeah, or
anywhere.
Pretty much like when he's on the field, they're gonna be trying to throw. Now he could have gotten better over this offseason and worked on that. So, but that was his weakness last year. Yeah. So having Ingram, I would definitely, and then even for like DFS stuff. You might be able to stack the Giants pretty cheaply the first couple weeks. I don't know. That might be something I would like to look into. Actually, I haven't looked at the first week of DFS yet for football, so I might be interested. Depending on who they play, obviously.
Yeah. I forgot a possible another sleeper is the tight end from Dallas. Is it Rico Gathers?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I forgot about him. So
yeah, because he's gonna be starting.
He's taking over Jason Witten, who was there for like 50 years. So. He's another potential.
Off play action too.
Off play action with that.
All right.
Okay. And another potential breakout star I have is Patrick Mahomes. Now he's kind of like the mystery of the NFL. No one knows what really he is. Mm-hmm. He was a first round pick last year, and he sat behind Alex Smith all year. But here's what I like about Patrick Mahomes. He has the 8th best offensive line, and he has weapons everywhere. He has Kareem Hunt. He has Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. he has weapons everywhere, so it's set up for him to do really well. So could
good
he be
coaching. Good coaching.
Good. And I was just going to bring up Andy Reid, who's the quarterback whisperer again. He has the weapons around him for him to set up to have a breakout season. Now he could fall in his face really easily, but he has the weapons to do it. I mean, he has the weapons around him to be a breakout star. Do you have any more breakout stars?
That's pretty much it for me.
All right, so I have a few possible ones. Deshaun Watson. All right, he only played was it 6 or 7 games?
Yeah, roughly.
Last year, he really broke out on the scene for the Houston Texans. You have Lamar Miller there, so he kind of has a little bit of a run game to fall back on. He has Watkins, who's potentially probably the number 2 receiver right now in fantasy behind Antonio Brown. And
arguably, yeah.
Yeah, arguably. I mean, you could throw in Beckham and whoever you want in there. But and he has Will Fuller, so he has 2 great receivers. Great receivers. And it's a pass-first offense. And so I really think there's fantasy value in him to really break out. He had a few 300-yard. He takes his chances. He's going to give you some picks, but he's going to give you a lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards.
He'll give you rushing yards and rushing touchdowns as well.
I would like to have him stay out of that a little bit for his injury history.
We'll have to see. He might turn that down.
Yeah, I would expect you to turn that down, but who knows?
But it's an option though.
Yeah, so he could be an MVP candidate. That's how breakout star he could be.
Okay.
So and then Jimmy G.
Good old Jimmy G, yeah.
He has potential. I mean, I like him too. He won every single game he played last year, but in fantasy value, he didn't kill it. I think he had like 7 touchdowns, 5 picks. But he has potential. He has some weapons around him. What do you think, Jimmy? You think he's gonna be a breakout star?
Like you said, like as a normal quarterback, I love him.
Yeah,
I love him.
And I think,
but as a fantasy though,
I
understand what you're saying. Like FanDuel, I might only had him 1 time last year.
Yeah, right defense and right matchup. Yeah. I think he will be a good fantasy.
And just the right day too.
Good.
You know?
I would say he's a good backup. I mean, a low end starter to a high end backup.
Yeah, if you're stacked everywhere else, you'll take Jimmy G as your your number 1.
Exactly.
You know?
He's not going to be a huge fall off from some of your other options.
And I don't think he'll go out and get you like Ben Roethlisberger 5 picks either.
Yeah.
He's not gonna go out and do that to you.
Yeah, I don't think so unless it's a really good defense. He has
potential. Well, even against the Jaguars last year, one of the top 2 defenses last year.
Diced them.
Yeah, he did. He did all right against them. So
I think his upside may be a little bit. Ceiling might be there a little bit, but he has a potential for me to be a breakout star.
All right.
So that's our fantasy football podcast. Subscribe to our iTunes. We're everywhere. Like us on Facebook. Like our main page, Staying Ahead of the Game. Just keep up with us. We'll post like once or twice a week.
Email us anything you want us to talk about. Questions.
Email questions. We'll answer them all. We'll try to answer them all. Good luck to you guys' draft if you guys didn't draft yet, and tell us how wrong we are at the end of the year too. So we love that too.
I like knowing when I'm wrong. That means I get better.
Yeah.
So
all right, have a good one, guys.